All right, Cool Parts Show. I'm Pete.
I'm Stephanie.
We're between seasons right now. We've wrapped a season. We are working hard on the upcoming season of the show, and this is a between seasons episode. What are we doing here?
Okay, so Pete, we have been doing the Cool Part Show for a while now, and there are a handful of questions that we get asked pretty regularly. So I thought we could just take a few moments today and answer some of our most frequently asked questions.
Good idea. I'm in.
All right. So I think you should start the answer to this one. How did we come up with the idea for the Cool Part Show?
So the idea for the show, it didn't come in a flash, right? We start every show saying we're with ADDITIVE That's our gig. Additive Manufacturing, magazine, website, conference. In the course of that, we were doing video. But it was different than this. It took the form of like formal interviews with people we were writing about, or short little social media video we would do from an event like a trade show.
Yeah, I think actually the idea for the show maybe dates back to those social media videos, because we started seeing this pattern where the stranger the situation we were in, or like the weirder the thing was that we were talking about and holding, like the more popular that video would end up being on social media.
Yeah, but it wasn't the strangeness exactly. It was what we noticed, it was the part. It was filling this need that was going on unmet out there, and it had to do with all these people who are kind of where we're at. So fascinated and excited by the promise of additive manufacturing and what it's going to bring, and being able to show real examples of that promise being realized. It validates that interest and fuels that interest, and the show speaks to this tribe out there of people watching how far additive manufacturing might go.
Yeah, thank you for watching. Thank you for being part of that tribe. All right, next question.
Why are you wearing t-shirts? Stephanie, why do we dress this way?
Yeah, good question. So, so getting back to those other videos that we've done in the past where we're very formal, we're wearing suits, we really wanted the Cool Part Show to have a different look and feel. We wanted it to be kind of casual, sort of fun, and these solid colored t-shirts is kind of the uniform that we landed on.
Additive manufacturing is going to be transformational. We thought the look of how we dress should transform. She got me to this. I was sort of reticent at first. There's strange serendipity in where we got our t-shirts. Yes. So Pete, wear t-shirts. I don't have any presentable t-shirts. I had to go solve that problem.
Yeah, so we kind of made this decision and then both independently went and bought our t-shirts at Old Navy. So just to be clear, Old Navy is not a sponsor of the show. They're not involved in any way, but hey, if you're watching, hit us up. All right, next question.
All right.
Where do you film the Cool Part Show?
Easy. We work for Gardner Business Media. We're at Gardner Business Media's headquarters, Newtown, Ohio, in the Cincinnati area. And the building was renovated in 2019, and as part of that renovation, we got this studio where we can sit at a table and film these episodes.
We should also say that we do film outside the studio. So if we have a chance to actually go to the place where the part is being made, we take advantage of those opportunities. We like to film our B-roll and interviews on site if we can. We even did some footage at Formnext last year because that was the best place to find some of the people and the parts that we wanted to talk about.
That's right.
Yeah.
All right, I get to ask you something. What makes something a cool part?
That is a great question. So I think it's a cool part for us is something that we both agree on, which doesn't always happen necessarily. It has to be 3D printed. It has to be a real part. So it has to be something that's in production already, or it's proof of concept, and it could pretty soon be.
Frequently, people send us suggestions for parts that look cool, that look really interesting, and actually, the aesthetic appearance of a part is maybe the thing we're least interested in. The part might look boring in terms of its appearance and geometry, but it might say something really significant about what additive manufacturing can accomplish, and that promise of additive manufacturing is what we find really cool.
Yeah, I think that's the other key. It has to let us talk about something bigger around additive, whether that's mass customization, lightweighting, or something even larger like electric vehicles, the Internet of Things, something that lets us talk about where additive's going.
Yeah.
Okay, so last question. How do I submit a cool part idea?
Okay. Pretty easy. Email coolparts@additivemanufacturing.media. Just kind of rough out into an email the story of your 3D printed part, how it was made, the promise of additive manufacturing that it illustrates. When we get emails like this, what catches your attention?
So I want to know like everything about the part. I want to know the process that was used, if the material is important, tell us about the material. If the design software was important, tell us about that. And I'm also kind of already thinking about, you know, what is that big theme? What is the big idea that we'll get to talk about if we choose this part?
Include an image, attach images of the part. You see how we do the show. We've got the parts here with us. We talk about them. So if we say yes to your idea, we'll be asking to borrow the part. Anticipate that. I think that answers our 5 questions.
Yeah, I think we're done with our frequently asked questions for now. And that's it for the Cool Part Show for a little bit. We're going to be working on our next season. But in the meantime, you can see all of the episodes on YouTube or our brand new URL, thecoolpartshow.com.
Yeah. See you soon.